Hi, I'm Renee and this is Milani. Welcome to the Milani and me instructional video of how to make some headbands. Okay, so first let's go through what you're going to need. You're going to need a hot glue gun, and just use a paper plate or something disposable to rest your hot glue gun on. Some nice sharp scissors, some elastic to make your lovely headbands. You might be choosing to use nylon headbands, that's also fine. You're going to need your flowers or bows that you're going to need to make your headbands, some little felt circles, and a tape measure, or something to, measuring tape or something to measure out your sizes with. Now for sizes, you can look on the Milani and Me Etsy page and you can find what size is appropriate for what age baby. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, we're going to make a simple flower headband, just with one large flower. And then we're going to move on to making a bow headband, and it varies slightly. And then we're going to make a combination headband where you have 3 little flowers, and we're going to put them together to make one focal point on that headband. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to make a headband for my little miss here. She has quite a large noggin for a baby, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to measure, first of all, going to grab my elastic. Hopefully Milani won't try and grab it as well. Okay, now I'm going to measure at 35 centimeters, but I'm going to measure about 35.5 just to allow a little bit of overlap for when I'm gluing it together. So I'm going to go 35, about 35.5 centimeters. Okay, there we are. And let's give it a snip there. Okay, get this out of the way. Lovely. Okay, now what you're going to need to do is get your hot glue gun very carefully. Now if you are doing this with children, this is an adult job, the hot glue gun, because it's very easy to burn yourself. Get the kids to help by sticking the flower on, but as far as building the actual headband, they can cut the elastic and that sort of thing, but using the actual hot glue, that's an adult job. Okay, so, excuse me, what you're going to do is get your elastic and sort of have a play with how you're going to, where you want to stick it. So we're going to have about 0.5 centimetre overlap. So what I do is I get it sparkly side down, so we don't have the sparkles on the inside of the head when we do it. So sparkly side down on the table, then just grab one end, curl it over, just pin it there. Hold it firmly with your fingers, get your hot glue, don't go overboard with hot glue, it's pretty strong, comes out quickly, once it's there, it's there. So grab your hot glue, give it a little squirt across the edge, remember about that 0.5 centimetre extra that we allowed for, don't let the baby grab it, pop your hot glue gun down, and then get your other edge and just fold it over, pressing it down nice and firmly, there we go, it dries super quickly. I'm used to getting a little bit of hot glue on my hands. It doesn't really hurt. Dries really quickly. There we go. Got our first elastic headband made. Now, if you order one of my the headband kits from Milani and Me, some people opt to have me cut the headbands to size and actually glue the headband. So then if they're having, for example, a baby shower, the guests don't all have to do one. They just then focus on choosing the flowers they want and the actual creative side of it, the beautiful side. So if you do get a headband kit from me, and opt for me to construct them for you, this is how they'll come. Just glued simply like this, one simple glue and cut to size. Okay, and the next step now is to choose your flower. Now we're going to use a nice big pink lace flower today for Milani, and we're going to, it comes with a lovely felt circle already on the underneath, and then we're actually going to still need another felt circle though. So what we're going to do to make the bond really strong on our elastic is we're going to actually stick the flower over. Oh, bless you. You're not allergic to headband making, are you? I hope not. So what you actually have to do is you're going to stick the flower on top of the cut area. So it's going to go flower on top of the cut area with glue, glue it down, so that'll be glued. And then we're actually going to put the felt circle over the top. And there we go, to make it nice and soft in the baby's head. But it's also going to make that joint where we cut the elastic really strong. So that's what I've learnt from trial and error is the best way to do it. So to start off with, have a look at your flower. How are you going to want it? Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to now put some hot glue along that felt circle of my flower. Not all flowers come with felt circles though, but just go along the middle as straight as you can. Now this bit doesn't matter so much because it's going to be covered with the elastic and then another felt circle. So if the glue oozes out a bit, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to pop it in the middle there and push it down. Make sure it's all nice and smooshed around, nice and secure. There we go, and it's basically dry already. It dries so quickly. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, I prefer to go with the glue on the felt circle so I know exactly the diameter that I'm using, because if I try to glue on here, I might put my felt circle down and I've gone out too far. So what I do is I start in the middle and sort of swirl out. You want to go close to the edges so your felt circle's not going to come up on the edges there. So just a bit of glue. There we are. And then try not to put your fingers in the glue. And then just covering that joint again to make it extra sturdy. There we go. And then it's basically dry already, dry super fast. And you've got your beautiful headband on your beautiful sparkly elastic. And it's going to be nice and soft on the baby's head, covered with some lovely felt there. And what you need to do is get a nice cute baby from somewhere. And see if I can do this backwards and upside down. Sorry if it goes in your eyes, baby girl. And pop your headband on your baby. I find it really helpful to have a comb and just sort of comb out over the sides of the headband, because sometimes the hair gets all caught up around the sides. And there we go. Give it a little comb, and then voila, you've got your first headband, beautiful, safe for the baby. Okay, now next one we're going to move on to is a bow. Now a bow varies slightly because the way that we do the elastic is a little bit different. So first of all, we're going to start off same thing, 35 centimeters. We'll do an extra ½ centimeter just to allow for the gluing. Okay, here we go. Now this elastic is really stretchy though as well. So I mean, if I grab a section here, you'll see that it's really stretches quite a long distance. So even if you are making one for a baby, it will last her past the very baby stage with how stretchy it is. Okay, so 35 centimeters, give it a snip again. Now this time though, we're actually going to need to get another little section of elastic, but this time about 3.5 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 3.5 to 4 centimeters. Okay, here we go. Going to snip that. There we are. Get this out of the way. Put the scissors out of the reach of the baby. Okay, now for this we're going to start off the same, and we're going to glittery side down on the table, pull one end across, glue across the edge of it. There we are, lovely. And then fold this little edge over. Press it down. Voila, she's dry. Now the thing is, when using small flowers or bows, sometimes the middle of them can be really narrow, that you can't actually use a felt dot behind them because you will see the felt dot. So what we're going to do then, so we're not going to be able to make this join where we've cut the elastic as strong, because we're not going to be able to put the bow and then put the felt circle, because no one wants to see a felt circle sticking out the side of the bow. So what we're going to do then instead is to reinforce this join using this small piece of elastic. We're just going to simply fold it over and glue it like that. So it's going to have another join, and it's going to hide where the glue is as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the elastic upside down so we can see where the join is. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just in the middle. There we go, just in the middle. Hot glue going down, and then I'm going to put my elastic and glue it like that. So we've got the elastic, I haven't finished yet. Glued over half of the center, and then now what I simply am going to do is I'm going to fold the elastic around back to the underside of the headband, and I'm going to get some more hot glue, and I'm going to hot glue it again to seal that edge. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it over, and that's going to create a nice strong bond over that section that we've cut to start the headband, and it also looks a much better finish. So we've got a nice elastic headband with a nice finish. There's little bits of glue get everywhere. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stick the bow. You can choose where you stick it. You could stick it glue it on over the top of where you've made the bond to hold it together there. You could stick it there, doesn't really matter, or you could stick it in the middle of the other side and have then where the joint is, it's going to be at the back of the baby or the girl's head when she's wearing it. So I'm just going to stick it on the flat side, not where I have the joint. And now for this, I'm actually going to glue onto my bow. Have a look at my bow. Which way do I want it? Okay. Now I'm going to put the glue on my bow, not just in the middle this time. I'm going to go a little tiny bit out to the edges because it's not going to be as strong of a bond because it's not going to be held by felt. So you do want to have a reasonable amount of glue just to make sure if wandering hands go pulling at that headband, it's got the best chance of survival. Okay, and then we're going to line it up in the middle. No one wants a wonky headband. Okay, what do you think, Milani? How does that look? Sparkly. Okay, push it down, push it down. You can do it on a flat surface or pick it up with your hands. Push it down, have a look. Does that look like it's secured? Give it a little, lift it up. If it's not secured, a little bit flappy in any areas, just put a little bit more hot glue to secure it down. Okay, now we're done. Beautiful bow headband. Now this could be any type of bow or flower that has a small diameter in the middle that you might not be able to use a felt circle for. Or some flowers might just be on the borderline and you can cut the felt circle down a little bit of size. That's also another option that you could do. Okay, you're gonna let me put this on your little munchkin? It's pretty. Let's have a try. Here we go. There we go. Once again, beautiful, straight on there. Give it a little comb at the sides. I know, yeah, you're being a very good model. And there we are, we've got a bow headband with a little bit of a different construction technique. Okay, take that off. Now the next one that we're going to do is a cluster headband. And this is where you might choose to use a few smaller flowers. Woo, there, a few smaller flowers. Okay, so what we're going to do for that is we're actually going to glue the flowers together first before we do anything else. And then we're going to stick, once they're all glued together, so it's like we're making them into one feature piece, we're going to then stick a felt circle on the bottom of them and proceed from there. Now, we could do the elastic, but I'm going to use a nylon headband for this one. Either, it doesn't matter. You've seen how to do the elastics. And now you could do a cluster flower using the same method. Hey, we're nearly finished. Come on. The same method that we used for this headband, where we're going to put a felt over the join, would be the same technique for this little one. Okay, now, how about you, do you want to play with your comb? Have a play with your comb. No? Okay, let's see if we can get this one made. If I can do it with a 6-month-old baby, I'm sure you can do it as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue actually on the side of one of these flowers, just along the side there. There we are, not too much. And then I'm going to get another flower and just push it together and join it. Push it in nice and firmly together. There we are. Okay, and then now I'm going to simply put glue on the edge where I want to have a look. Okay, that's my flower so far. Where do I want to put it? You could put it to the side there, but we're going to do it in the middle here. So let's pop some glue in the middle here. You're being a good girl and I know it's ready for bedtime. Here we go. So we're going to push it together. So now we've created a 3 flower little feature piece using 3 little flowers. Okay, have a look. It's beautiful. Now what we simply need to do is, again, get your felt circle, glue from the middle around to the perimeter at the edge there, and then pop it down onto your flowers and push it nice and flat. Now you might get a tiny bit of the felt sticking out of the corners here, and if you do, you could either start with cutting your felt smaller, or you could just cut the corners out. Oh, Papa, I should have brought your tummy, shouldn't I? Hey, give me, how about you have a little play with the dolly? Have a little play with the dolly? Where's her windy button? Here she is. How about if we pop her over there and you can have a watch? Sorry. Do what you've got to do with the baby. Okay, so I can see there's a tiny little bit of felt sticking out the side there. So I'm just going to take my scissors in and snip that little corner out. Not much at all. There we are. Okay. Oh, didn't snip quite far enough. Have a little snip. There we are. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, this time I'm using a really lovely, look how stretchy that is, beautiful soft nylon elastic for the headband, and I'm just going to pop my flowers upside down, put some glue on them along the felt circle. I don't think I'm going to try and put the headband on Milani this time. I don't think she's going to have that. And then pop my nylon down into the glue, press it nice and firmly, and then get my last felt circle and put some glue on it all the way around to the edges. There we are. Again, you might need to cut the felt circle a little bit smaller, and then push it down nice and firmly, and there we have it. It's attached at the back there with the 2 felt circles actually, and then that's how it looks, a cluster of headbands at the front. Beautiful, that's a really lovely one, I love that. Now you can also do it with flowers as well, where you have the flowers side by side. Now if you are, how about we turn Dolly back on again, just while we finish off. There you go. Hi Dolly. Hello Dolly. Now, sorry. If you're going to use flowers or anything side by side, when you actually stick it together, do it so it's bunched right up to each other, like such. Bunch right up, because you imagine once they're on the elastic and the elastic stretches, they're going to pull out from each other a little bit. So if you start off by having them evenly spaced and just a little bit of gap, when they're on the baby's head or the girl's head and they stretch, they're gonna stretch out, and you're gonna see a little gap in between the flowers, which you don't want. It looks much nicer if you have them bunched right up next to each other, nice and tightly, and then they stretch a little bit and they look beautiful together. I did have an example I was going to show you, but I forgot. Okay, so today we've watched a little example of how to make a headband using a big flower or something that's got a big diameter in the middle, so you can use the felt pad on the back to reinforce a join. We've had a look at how to make a bow or a little flower headband that you can't actually use a felt pad on the back of, and you have to use that strong join with a bit of extra elastic. And we've had a look at how to make a cluster headband. Thanks so much for watching. We sell beautiful headband making kits for baby showers, pamper parties, birthdays, any occasion over at the Milani and Me Etsy store, or head over to Facebook and search for Milani and Me and join us there. We've got lots of prizes, giveaways, promotions, updates, all sorts of things happening. And also on Instagram, if you search Milani and Me Boutique, you can find